Hey, hi, hello, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, my name is Amanda. It is very nice to meet you. I'm happy to have you. Today we're talking about my other love, which is books. I love a good story, as you might know. I don't know. Games and books are in that way similar because I just love a good story that makes you feel something, whether that's sadness, anger, frustration, anything. And I am officially out of my reading slump. I am so happy. I also had a friend tell me about Kindle Unlimited being free for 3 months, and every time that offer comes up, I have to grab it, and I did. And I think that's also what helped me get out of my reading slump, because I can just, all right, next, and I am obsessed. So I've been having a lot of fun reading again, and yeah, I'm ready to talk about the books I've read. I have my cup of coffee. I am ready to talk about books. Let's get started. Okay, what's up first? These are gonna be in no particular order. It's just the ones that I went through and want to talk about. So let's see here. Okay, so the first book I want to talk about is The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose. Wow. So this is a suspenseful, maybe thriller. Maybe. Hold on. Let's bring it back in, Amanda. Let's talk about what this book is about first. Okay, so husband, wife. Husband is aspiring author. He is handsome, he's tall, he's, broody, weh. Wife, badass lawyer, confident. She's a boss. She is like the top lawyer in the nation. So, okay. Husband is having an affair because, of course, like I said, insecure. So one day, the husband finds himself in bed with his mistress, and in the morning, she is dead. So what does wife have to do? Wife has to defend him, because that can only be good. So the story of it is really great. It kept me wanting to find out what the heck happened. And it was an easy read. And when I say that about this book, I mean that the chapters weren't too long, so it was very easy to like get wrapped up and keep going and want to keep going, just because one more chapter, it's only a couple pages, so it was very easy to get wrapped up in reading this so quickly. This book also reminded me how books can get me so excited and like interested and hold my interest, and I really liked this book, and this one was a little bit outside of my comfort zone. I don't normally go initially for like thrillers or suspenseful or like anything like that, so this is a little bit outside of that. I'm a romance gal. I love me a romance. And so this is a little bit in the opposite direction. But I really enjoyed it regardless. I do recommend it if you're looking for something easy to read, gripping, a satisfying ending, because it is very satisfying. The twist at the end is very satisfying as well. I didn't see it coming. Maybe you will. I don't know. Maybe you should find out. I don't know, but so I really like this book. Highly recommend. Hopefully, future Amanda will put up if this was on Prime or on Kindle Unlimited. I don't know. Hopefully, she's done that. Anyway, next. Okay, I'm just like taking a drink. I'm sorry. This one is called Famous Last Words by C.W. Farnsworth. This one is more along the lines of what I would go for. Let me talk about it. So I was gonna just read you guys like the back of the book or whatever, but I'm gonna try and do this in my own words. Okay. Boy, girl. Does that make sense? Maybe I should read you the actual thing. Let me read you the actual thing. Okay. He's the one guy she swore she'd never fall for. Harlow Hayes loves water in its liquid form. The chlorinated kind she swims in, the perennial droplets soaking her adopted hometown, the waves she ventures out on to observe the ocean. Water in its frozen state holds no appeal to her. That's not the only or most divisive difference between her and Connor Hart. The arrogant, arresting captain of Holt University's hockey team spends every second not picking fights or parting atop a sheet of it. Plenty of girls fall for the charming lines and that cocky smirk. Harlow knows better, knows more. The fuel for the furry. The fuel for the fury that makes him such a dominant force on the ice. The reason he ignores her as resolutely as she pretends he doesn't exist. The history they share but didn't write. Knowledge meant to ensure he's the one guy she could never, would never, like, much less love. Famous last words. This one's interesting. It is on Kindle Unlimited. It is alternate POV, so you do go back and forth between both of their point of views. I think I'm a big fan of these, of just alternate point of views. I don't know why. I'm a sucker for it. So this one for me was a nice palette cleanser between. Oh, so I had read The Perfect Marriage, and then I had read Does It Hurt, and we'll talk about that next. And I really needed something to just not be so intense. And this was the book that definitely did it for me. It was cute, and it is an easy read. I mean, the chapters were a little long, but it was easy to get through. When I was a teenager, I would read a lot of Sarah Dessen. Man, what a time. I read a lot of Sarah Dessen books, and obviously I think that was what sparked my love for romance novels. This one kind of reminded me of those, but obviously with like there's a little hint of spice, and obviously they're more adult. So this one was, I don't want to say it was slow, like a slow burn. It kind of was. I liked the dialogue between them. I liked the setup. I think there was something missing for me a little bit. Just, I don't know, maybe it was the pacing of the book. Maybe that could have been a little bit better. So it was okay. I would recommend, if you're looking for like an enemies to lovers, forbidden, cute kind of vibe, it is a hockey romance, so if you're into those. And if I was to give this a rating, I'd probably give it like a 3 out of 5. But like I said, it was a nice palette cleanser. It's a nice experience. So also, this was my first book by C.W. Farnsworth, and I think I would read another one. I think I would try another book. And I think there are more on Kindle Unlimited, so I might try another one. Okay, next is Does It Hurt? By H.D. Carlton. So this one was a touch outside of my comfort zone. Let's see if I can explain what this book is. So boy, or I should say man, woman, you have Enzo, you have, I forgot what her name was. So you have man, woman. Woman is running from something, someone, you don't know what. And she finds herself in Australia, down under. I'm so sorry. She finds herself in Australia. She's just doing her thing. She lives in a van. She cons men. She, makes men think that, she's interested and blah, blah, blah. They take her home. She steals her credit card and all of their information. So she does that. And that's just how she's surviving, because she's needing that. Then you have Enzo, who is hiding something. He is this hot guy, muscly, strong. He loves sharks. It sounds so weird when I say it out loud. Why do I explain things like this? He loves sharks. Okay, I'm sorry. He loves sharks and the water, and yeah. So he finds her in a bar, picks her up, she steals his identity and all that stuff. They have a heated moment. And well, she couldn't get out of his way because he realized what she did. He's finding her, he did find her, and then things happen. They end up on a deserted island. How did I jump from that to this? I don't want to give anything away. Please don't mind me. Okay, so they find themselves on this deserted island with a lighthouse with a man living there. Weird. So they have to like kind of figure out how, or they have to like wait it out to get off the island, but lots of things are happening and lots of weird things are happening, and so they're trying to work that out, all while being very enemies to lovers. Very heavy on the lovers. So that's what this book is about to me. Maybe I should just read you the thing. Oh my god, Amanda, why are you like this? TikTok really did make me read this one. Also, I haven't, let me preface by saying dark romances, I think there's just particular ones that I like, and I think for me it depends on the darkness of it, if that makes sense, like what makes it dark. I think the subject of that is whether or not I'll be interested or like it. So I am kind of new to the dark romance genre. Anyway, this book is on Kindle Unlimited. It is alternate POV, so you do go between the both of them, and boy, do they have some thoughts. Like I said, TikTok did make me read this, and I feel bad saying this, but I thought it would have been better. There are things that are very shocking that happen in this book. Read your trigger warning. I feel like you should always read your trigger warnings before reading a dark romance. This one's definitely one of them. I think if you read this book, you'll know what I'm talking about. There's a scene in this book that is very interesting. Something I've never read. I don't think I'll ever read that again. I don't think I'll ever see that again in a book. This book kind of made me doubt whether dark romances are my thing. But like I said, I think it definitely depends on the subject matter and what you're comfortable with, and there are things for me that I'm not so comfortable with. So I do like spicy and I enjoy spicy books, but kind of depends on the spiciness. And honestly, I almost DNF'd this book after that one scene. It just made me feel very uncomfortable, but I kept reading. I thought that maybe, like, what am I missing that people loved or really enjoyed? And then I got to where they got up to an abandoned lighthouse, and the only thing that kept me really going for this book was just trying to figure out what the heck was going on with the caretaker. So in that aspect, it did get me, like, just wanting to get through it. Which is probably a bad way of explaining it. I wanted to find out, so I kept going regardless of what was happening. And it does mellow out a little bit, like the spiciness, so it does. I don't think I would recommend this book to people generally. This book was just, I don't think, not for me. And long story short, I've already told you the long story, but I don't think this book is for me. I'm just not the target audience. If you have dark romances that you would recommend to people, by the way, that maybe aren't too uncomfortable to read, please let me know, because I am interested in them, and I think I can find some that I do like. I think it's just about trying to find them. So I would be interested. If you do have any recommendations, let me know down below. But that was Does It Hurt? Are you gonna read this? I don't know. Oh my god, this book. Jeez. It did make me feel something though, I guess. Okay, so the next one is Things We Never Got Over, which I love this book. Let me try and set it up. So we have Grumpy and we have Sunshine. Yeah, already off to a good start. We have Knox and we have Naomi. Naomi finds herself in Virginia, in a small town, because her sister Tina called her and said that she needed help, whatever. So she dipped out on her wedding day. Before she got married, she dipped out and said, I'm gonna go help my sister. It's her evil twin, by the way, and her name is Tina. She gets there. Tina has an 11-year-old daughter she never knew about. She dips on her. Tina dips on Naomi. Tina steals her cash and her car, leaves town, and she left Naomi, her 11-year-old, to take care of, which, crazy. She stumbles into Knox, and Knox helps her out in getting her set up in the town, and because she decides what the fuck else is she supposed to do, so she stays in town. He helps her out. They end up intertwining themselves into each other's lives, and you kind of just see them and Naomi kind of figure out what the heck, especially Naomi like having to take guardianship over her niece that she didn't know about. I really loved that aspect. So these characters are very lovable. I got very attached to them. And I think Waylay, who was the 11-year-old niece, is also just like she's like snappy, like she's very quick-witted, and I think that makes you even like her as well. Knox is very easy to love. Naomi is also not annoying. Nobody in this book was annoying, which was great. I loved some of the revelations in the book, and I loved just the relationship that develops between Waylay and Naomi, and even Waylay and Knox, and I loved it all. When I started reading this, it was exactly what I was looking for at the moment, and I now know why people love this book on TikTok as well as YouTube. But oh my god, it's just what I needed, and I love it. And there's another book, and I'm gonna read that one. Don't worry, I'll give my thoughts in a later video, hopefully, if you like these. I just could not put this book down. I read it so fast. I read it so quickly. I couldn't. I loved this book so much, and I would definitely recommend it if you like Grumpy Sunshine. There is a little like teeny bit of spice in it, but it's very much like the story of it all, the way the author sets this up, and just the interactions and the dialogue and just everything. It's perfect, and I really loved it. I would give this book 5 stars, and I probably will read it again next year. You know when you just like, this book hit that spot that I was trying to itch. This book hit a spot that I was trying to itch, and I adored it. I loved it. I am a fan. So Lucy Score is definitely someone I am going to be reading a lot of. I think Lucy Score actually has a pretty good collection of books on Kindle Unlimited, so I do want to like kind of go into their like other books and see what that vibe is like. I mean, small town, Grumpy Sunshine, what is there not to love? So good. One second. So the next book I wanted to talk about was one that I just finished. It's Accidental Magic by Iris Beaglehole. And let's talk about it. Let me set it up for you. So we have Rosemary and Athena, who mother and daughter, and they are left the fortune of her grandmother who passed away. The way that she passes away is very suspicious. It's a mystery, and she finds herself having to go back to her childhood home with her, where her grandmother lived, and where she grew up, and doesn't remember much of anything, which is a mystery in itself. She is learning things about this town and how interesting it is, how quirky it is. There's mentions of like magic, and she's like, is anybody serious? And then she finds out, oh, they're serious. They are actually witches, and the family magic is bound, and she's having to find out how to unbind it while trying to find out who actually killed her grandmother, her and Athena. I liked that this was really set up in like a single mom and daughter. I think that was really cute. I really liked it. So when I first started reading this, even within the first couple of chapters, I realized that this very much felt very cozy, which I didn't really expect. I really liked the cover, and so I had downloaded it and just read it, which is something I usually don't do. So when I say I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone, I'm really trying. So I did give this one a shot. So it is very cozy. When you first get into this, the first couple chapters, I realized that I feel like it was very Gilmore Girls-esque. And not so much, I guess, Gilmore Girls itself, which I mean, I see what she might have done with like the mother-daughter relationship, but the town itself, everyone knows each other, and there's such like quirky characters that you get to know. There's even, if you watch Gilmore Girls, there's even like a Kirk, which is very interesting. And me thinking about Gilmore Girls as I was reading this, when I got to the end and you get to the part about, you know, the author, they did draw inspiration from Gilmore Girls, which is so interesting. And I was like, oh my god, you could really tell, especially with the town and the way that was set up. I was like, oh, I was right. I also read that she kind of noticed that there wasn't a lot of like single mother roles in like the fantasy genre, so that's why she wanted to do it, and good on her, because she nailed that. Especially with like, I feel like, you know, children usually grow up faster when they're faced with something like that, and so Athena is very much the responsible one in the relationship of mother-daughter, and Rosemary is not so much. Rosemary for me was a little annoying. I feel so bad saying that. As far as what I feel about this book, I enjoyed it for what it was. It was very cozy, and maybe I would have enjoyed it more if I read it later in the year. It was just the pacing, I think, was a little bit off for me personally. I think it could have been a little bit slow at times. You're like kind of wanting more, and I guess that's where Rosemary gets a little bit frustrating, because it's just like, come on, you know, like, get it together. This book has cozy, lots of tea drinking, some Gilmore Girl vibes. When I say Gilmore Girl vibes, I mean Stars Hollow vibes. So I mean, if you like that, if you like more of some magic mixed into that, then maybe you'll like this one. I don't know if maybe it's not for me, I'm not sure, but I think I will give the second book a go. Not me getting annoyed by characters, by the way. Also, this is what you can expect from my reviews of books. I'm gonna be completely honest. I think it's very important to be authentic about it, especially with reviews like this. Is this even a review? I don't know. It's just me talking about what I've read. So before I say goodbye, I do have some books that are on deck. When you're watching this, I'm already on the trip, but the flight over is a really long time. So I I have some books ready to go. So up next for me is Den of Vipers by K.A. Knight, Bunny by Mona Awad, Done and Dusted by Lila Sage, Ward D by Frida McFadden, and Things We Hide from the Light. So there's a whole bunch of mixture in there. Ward D is supposed to be like thrilling, suspenseful, so I am looking forward to that. Again, getting out of my comfort zone. Den of Vipers I think I've heard about on TikTok, so interesting. Bunny I kind of saw mixed reviews on, but I thought I would give it a whirl and see what I think about it. You ever read books just because the reviews are mixed and you're like, oh, well, I wonder what I would think, and so I'm gonna freaking read it. Done and Dusted I think is just like a romance-y book, which the cover is so cute. And then Things We Hide from the Light is book 2 from Lucy Score in the, I think, Knock 'Em Out series, which I'm very excited about. I'm ready to fall in love all over again. So yeah, that's what's up next for me. I'll probably have some more. But yeah, this has been fun. If you've made it all the way to the end, thank you so much. It's been lovely. This has been so fun. If you would like to see more of me, please like and subscribe. You can follow my socials down below. If you have any dark romance suggestions, and if you'd like to see more content like this, please let me know down below in the comments. This was a delight. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again soon. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Hey, hi, hello, and welcome. Why did I cross my arms? Leave them alone. Hold on. The fuel for the excuse me.